Hello, hola, and hello to all my friends and family out there in YouTube land. It is your girl, London Brielle, and today's video is going to be a bridal look. It is the late spring, early summer, and there are plenty of brides to be ready and waiting for their wedding day.
But the last thing that you want to worry about on your wedding day is your makeup slipping off your face like a sad, sad pie.
And no, I am not getting married. I am already married. But when I did get married, I got married in Las Vegas, Nevada. No, it was not by Elvis, but it was hot as Hades, even though it was January. And I wish I had had some products to set my makeup in place because by the end of the day, it was just slipping and sliding. It was a hot mess, a hot mess. So today we're just going to do a bridal look and we are going to set it in place for a full 16 hours, and it is going to make it through any sweat, any tears, any
Dancing, any twerking.
anything you got going on. It's going to stay in place. Your makeup's going to look just as fresh as when you first put it on. So if you notice, I have my hair up already. I have it pushed back. I have a fresh face. I just washed it. I have nothing on, not even any moisturizer. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to get started. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is the Skindinavia, the Makeup Primer Spray in Oil Control. And this is super awesome. It's a fine mist. It's oil-free. It's paraben-free. You just shake it well. And I like to put this on before I put my moisturizer on, because to me, when you put something like this that's going to control oil, because I'm an oily girl, I don't want it to go on over a moisturizer, because the moisturizer is creating the barrier between my skin and the product. And I want this product to sink into my skin because that is what is producing all the oil. So you just want to do, close your eyes, of course, and do just a T motion. It's super light. It's super fine mist. Woo! There we go. We're back. And it's just going to absorb on your skin super duper quick, and it's going to help control the oils on your skin. So then after that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on a moisturizer. And I think that the moisturizer that I am going to use today, let's go ahead and we're going to use the Believe in Truth Hungarian Water Essence, and this is an aqua-based formulation with increased hydration level, and it's just this little sample size right here. I know you may be saying, well, if you just put on something to control your oils, why are you then putting on something that is going to give you some extra hydration? And the reason for that is that just because I want my oils controlled doesn't mean I want my face dry. It's two different concepts. Your face can be moisturized but not oily, and that's what I'm going for. I don't want the oil, but I do want it to be moisturized. I'm going to put a little bit more on because what it is, it's kind of like a clear liquid. I don't know if you can see it kind of dripping on my hands. So it does absorb super fast when you put it on your face, like crazy fast. So it definitely hydrates, but again, like right now, it's almost feels a little bit tacky, and then it just completely dries down and it's done. So it's not like a lotion or anything. I really like that moisturizer. So next we are going to go ahead and we are going to get into some color correcting, which I've just started to do. And this is the Cover FX Corrector Click. And this is in a cream, and this is the orange. And it's just little like this. Comes in this cute little silver packaging, and it is orange, just like this. So, like I said, I just started color correcting. I am a no pro, but I do have some darkness underneath my eyes because I do not get enough sleep. So if I look over here, it's because my mirror is over here. It's too hard to look at my viewfinder and do this. So I just put it on like so. I know everybody has their own way of color correcting, but this is what I found kind of works for me. Just to slide it on and then go ahead and kind of pat and dab with my finger underneath my eye. I know it looks a little bizarro right now, but I have found that it actually does aid and assist in the darkness that I have underneath my eyes. I don't think anything necessarily can make it look or go completely away, but it does a decent job. So of course I look a little silly right now, but anywho. So while that is on there, we're going to go ahead and we are going to start on our eyes. And for our eyes, we are going to go ahead and we are going to prime and correct them with the Kat Von D High Voltage Eye Primer. Now this, a dab will do you. This is very, very, very thick. If you guys can see it, just a squeeze tube. This is actually way too much that I put on my finger. It's very thick. It actually looks like a regular concealer or foundation. And you just need like the smallest little dabs to put on. And I use this one, not all the time, but sometimes when I really want color to kind of show up, because this cancels out, because it's a tan color, this cancels out any discoloration in your eyelids, and any color period. If you have any veins or anything like that, this is going to cancel that out and just kind of give you a nude canvas to work with. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, is I just want a nude canvas, so that way I can create a new one with my eyeshadow. So as you can see, it's created kind of a blank canvas look for my eyes. So for eyeshadows, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here. I think I'm going to go in first with this Visor mini palette that I had. I showcased this in the haul video. I'll link it down below. But this is just, I forgot what it's actually called, the term for it, but it's just, to me, it's just a mini palette. It's in the color Minx, and it's so cute. It just opens up like this, and these are the shadows that are in it. Super cute. You get 6 shadows. This is my very first Visor palette, and I actually really, really do enjoy it. I think that they're super high quality, just like everybody says. I think that they are definitely worth the hype. So I am using my Wayne Goss number 6 brush, and I'm also using my color switch to get the colors off of my brush. This is my Wayne Goss number 6 brush. It's kind of a flat, I call it crease shader, I don't know. But I really like using this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this dark color, so darkest brown, that is inside the palette. Now, I know some people use a, it doesn't kick up a lot of dust, but just one dab, a little bit of it off. I know some people use more of a skin toned transition color when they're first getting started. And I'm just going to the other eye with the rest of it. And that's fine. You can do that too. Sometimes I do that, but if I want my crease to be a little bit darker, I don't do that all the time. And sometimes people will go all over their lid with a neutral shadow close to their skin tone or even their foundation powder, so that way their color doesn't skip from laying down the primer. Because sometimes when you lay down the primer, your color will actually skip, and laying down a skin colored eyeshadow beforehand all over can help that not to happen. So of course, this is always the messy part of makeup. Nothing's perfect right now, but I have it in my crease. I'm not going to take the color off this brush or anything. I'm just going to set it aside because we will be using it again. So the next color that I'm going to use is going to be a base color for my eyes, and I really like this color. This is a nice kind of like shimmer orange color, orangey brown, but I think it might be a little bit too much for this bridal look. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, and I'm going to use the color Peanut Brittle, and it's just a shimmer orange, similar to that, but a little bit less metallic-y-ish for me. So I'm going to be using, this is called an accent brush by Real Techniques. So this is the accent brush by Real Techniques. It's just super, super tiny. And I found that I just really like to apply my lid shadow with this. It's not the quickest way to apply your lid shadows at all, but I have found that for me, it is the most precise way for me to go ahead and apply my lid shadows, to kind of ensure that I don't go too high. It's easier to correct mistakes that I have with my shadow rather than using a bigger all over shadow, I'm sorry, a bigger all over brush for your shadow. So that is what we're looking like right now. So I really, really love this Peanut Brittle color. And the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette is one of my absolute favorite palettes from Too Faced. It's just, I don't have the Chocolate Bar 1 or the Chocolate Bar 2, but I know that so many people talked about the color Peanut Butter. So when this palette came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so perfect. I love like brown oranges. I just think that they're super pretty, and I've just fallen in love with this palette. Absolutely. I think that if you don't have it, even if you have other neutral palettes, I think that you should get it because I think that it's worth it, even though it has, you know, a lot of hype around it, just like all the other Too Faced palettes, but I think it's worth it. So that is what we are looking like with the base shadow. And I'm not going to wipe that brush off either. But what I am going to do is I am now going to go ahead and I'm going to take my Wayne Goss number 3 brush. And this is a kind of fat blending brush. And I'm not putting, I just wiped it off on my color switch. I'm not putting any product on it. I'm just going back in here. And I just want to kind of fade out the original crease color we had, that brown. And I just want to start to blend that out so it looks a little smoother. And it doesn't look quite so rough. Now, sometimes you can end up over blending, and that sucks because then you have to go back in with more shadow. But by all means, blend, blend, blend until you feel happy with your result, because you can always go back in and pick up more. I mean, it's makeup. Worst case scenario, you have to wash it all off. So as you can tell, it's a lot more blended now than it was before. Now, I don't want to do too much with this bridal look because I think on your wedding day, you want to have enough color and you want to have enough going on, but you don't want to have too much going on because you want it to just look like you have something, but it's just, you're just like this gorgeous glowing goddess angel, and it's not like all focused kind of on makeup. So I am going to leave it like that and just add a little bit to the outside and a little bit underneath my brow, and we're going to be done. So I'm going to take my Wayne Goss number 5 brush, and it's a little bit smaller. I've kind of like a shader accent type brush, and I'm going to go into the Visart palette again, and I'm going to use that darkest shade once more, and I'm just putting a little bit on my brush, and then I'm just going to go right into the corner part. And I know it's kind of like, well, why are you doing that if you already put it in the crease? Like, it's not a darker color. However, if you notice, I just put that in the corner, and you can see it because we blended out the original color with our brush. So now I'm just going to continue to use this brush and just kind of blend it into my crease a little bit. But I don't want to blend the edges on the corners too much because I do want to keep a little bit of that color to give it kind of like a semi-smoked V per se. Just give it a little bit of depth on the outside. So you don't always, on the outside of your eye, have to use a completely different color than you used in your crease. You can use the same color as long as you blend out your crease, so that way your crease is a softer version of the color that you put on the edge. And that just gives you just a nice little hint of darkness without it being too dark or too dramatic. So I'm not somebody who's really big on underbrow highlighting. I don't know, it's just not really me. But for this, we are going to do just a tad bit. And we're going to use the color Peanut Butter Cup. And this is in the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. Now this is a darker brown, which most people use a underbrow highlight is lighter, not darker. But I found that I don't really like that. It looks a little stark to me. So I like to use this little bit darker brown color, but it has some gold reflex. So it's still going to give me a bit of shimmer, almost like it was a lighter color for the underneath the brow, but it's not. It's a darker color. And I just like to go in just super duper lightly with it and just blend it underneath there and kind of call it a day. And then what I'll do is I'll go back in again, wipe off that fluffy crease blending brush that we had, which was the Wayne Goss number 3, and then I'm going to go in here. There's no product on it, so I'm just kind of blending this whole top part together now. Okay, and we have our eyeshadow done. And now we're going to go through and we are going to quickly do our eyelashes, and we are going to possibly use some liner if I can find it. Okay, so what we have is the Kat Von D liner in Trooper, and this is just mini sample deluxe size. I love it because it has a nice thin tip to it, and I think that it gives just a nice overall look to the eye without doing too much. I just like the way that looks. So gives just a little something without doing too much. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's just a really nice touch to the eye. So I really like it. It stays put all day. I've never had it come off throughout the day or kind of start having that raccoon eye, which sometimes you can get with other liners. But I've never had that happen with this, so I really like it and enjoy it, and I think that it just zhuzhed up the eyes a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply some mascara. Now, I do not curl my eyelashes. I know that's kind of like, oh, sin, but I just don't do it. But I use the Marc Jacobs number 30 in Blacker, and this is just a deluxe size version of that. I really, 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 really love this mascara. I think it is nice and black, and I think that it provides enough length without having to curl my lashes, because my lashes get all wonky when I curl them, so I don't love it. And that's the eye with it, and that's the eye without it. So I really enjoy it. I really like it. Once I run out of this, I definitely will be getting a full-size version of it, because it is one of my favorites to use, and this never has any fallout on the bottom of my skin throughout the day. It doesn't dry and get flaky on me or anything like that. It just stays just as nice as when I first put it on all day. Then on my bottom lashes, we are going to go ahead and we're going to use this Clinique. This is just Clinique number 1 Black, and this is just their bottom lash mascara. It has a super teeny tiny wand on it, and I just like to do my bottom lashes with it. Not do too much to my bottom lashes, because sometimes they can look a little spidery, but just a little something with that. And then we are going to move on to the face. So we are going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. This is such a great foundation. I also hold this, so I'll leave that video. But I have this in number 9.5. And I am going to be using... All my brushes are running away from me today. Why? Do you ever just feel like your brushes, like, hate you? Like they are seriously out to get you? Because I do. Because it's telling me probably that I need to try to use different brushes. Nope, found it. I'm using the Wayne Goss number 1 brush. And he does have a bigger brush than this. Same concept. This used to be white, but of course there's foundation on it. But I really like this brush. It doesn't, I guess for everybody, it doesn't work with every type of foundation. It can leave streaks, but you have to just be careful when you're using it. Also, it's smaller, so a lot of people don't like that because it does take a longer time to blend in your foundation, because it's not as wide of a brush, so it's not covering as much surface area, but I really like it. So after I put my foundation on like that, I know it's weird that I put it on the brush, but I don't know, I just prefer to put it on the brush rather than put the foundation on my skin and then put it in. I kind of just do kind of like a stippling motion like this. And I'm stippling over that color corrector because I don't want to necessarily blend the color corrector in and have it go away. I kind of just want to put the foundation on top of it so you can't see it, but so it can still correct. And then once I feel like I've stippled enough, I go ahead and I blend. Okay, so we now have our foundation on, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to let that sit, bam, for a little bit and let it do its thing, kind of sink into our skin. And while we're doing that, we are going to go ahead and we are going to exfoliate our lips, and I'm using the Tarte exfoliator. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to exfoliate our lips really quickly. Just put that on. Sometimes I do it at the beginning. It has kind of like a minty flavor, but sometimes I do it at the end. You just gotta be careful not to whip up your newly put on foundation. So went ahead have that done. Okay, so our foundation should be good. So now what I'm going to do is take a Wayne Goss 00 brush, and this is my powder brush. So I'm going to put the Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and this is, it looks kind of like a yellow powder, and it is kind of a yellowy type pecan color, but it's neutral on your face. It doesn't give you any color. So I just want to set this foundation, and I just kind of am very messy. And this is why I don't do my eyebrows first, because I don't want to have to go over my eyebrows like too kind of like daintily, because I like using this big brush. So I do that, let it sit for a couple seconds. Not really official baking, just letting it sit. And then I go and I just dust it off, blend it in. And it doesn't give my skin any more color, it just helps to make sure that my foundation is going to stay in place and not crease on me all over the world. So we have that finished. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put on some blush. So the blush that I'm going to be using today is the Kat Von D Pura Vida. And this is the Everlasting Face Shaper blush. And I don't know if they actually, I think that was upside down. I don't know if they actually still have these anymore. I think she changed the formula or something with the blushes, and so I think they're a little bit different, but this is what it looks like. It's kind of a deeper pink. I don't want to say hot pink. I don't want to say hot pink, but it's kind of a little bit of a deeper pink, but it gives really good color pigmentation. And so I'm using my Wayne Goss #2 brush, and this is my blush brush. And I put some onto there, get out some of the excess, and then I like to do this. Everybody has their own way of putting on blush, but I like to kind of do a little bit of a circle on my cheek and kind of almost like stippled in, and then kind of just bring it back. I don't know why, I just do. I like do my cheek and then stipple it back into a line. And then once I get done, I just use my color switch, do this, and then I go back in and I blend it out. So I have like a nice concentrated color in the front, but I'm not getting like, you know, 1980s rocker streak on the side. So all over, it's just really a nice color. So that's what that looks like. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight, and I'm going to use the Too Faced Perfect Flush Blush, tongue twister. And this is in Peach Beach. It's so cute. This is what it looks like inside. And all I do is I focus my brush only on this strip. So I put it just on that strip. I'm still using my Wayne Goss #2, the same one I used for my blush, but I've cleaned it off. And I just do on my cheek and then back. I don't do the C shape right here in the corner. I don't know, for me, that just doesn't work. I don't particularly care for it, but you put your highlight on however you choose to put your highlight on. I like to concentrate a little bit of it more on my cheeks just to give it a little more of a sun-kissed apple look. So there we go.
We got the highlight though. We got the highlight though.
So, love that. So we're all coming together for our wedding day. It's enough color, but it's not too much. Like, people aren't going to focus on your makeup. They're going to focus on just how beautiful you look in your makeup, not how beautiful your makeup looks on you. Totally big difference, two totally different things. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put our lipstick on, and this is going to be the NYC 304 in Mocha. So this is just a 99-cent lipstick. It's in a mocha color, a brownie. Now you can use whatever color you want to, of course, but for me in this look, because we're going kind of with a brownie, orangey theme, and with my skin color, I really like to use this type of a color with it. So I'll put that on. Oh, I hate Cupid's bows. And I just think this is just such a nice color. It's enough of a color, but it's still like a neutral, but it's not like the death neutrals where it's going to make you look like a corpse. So the next thing that we are going to do is I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera because I'm no good at doing them on camera, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys the final hair look and the final makeup look We're going to do that together in just 1 second. So I will be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. And as you can see, we are almost ready to get married. We have our veil on, we have our makeup on, we have our hair done. All we need now is to ensure that this is not going to come off when we cry, when we sweat, if we get any rainwater on us, anything. We need to make sure that this look is going to stay the same before our I-dos and after our I-dos. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use the Skindinavia. It's the makeup finishing spray, and it's specifically called a Bridal. Now when you spray this on in an X and a T, this is going to be your insurance. This is going to ensure that your makeup is going to stay for 16 hours during your wedding, your reception, and afterwards. Your face is going to look just as beautiful as it did before you got married, after you got married, possibly when you wake up the next morning, depending on how it goes. So just give it a good shake. Do an X, a T. Just let it sit in. It's going to set very quickly because it's a super fine mist, and that right there is your insurance that everything's going to go perfect as far as your face is concerned. So now you are officially ready to go say, I do. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm going to have a link below, and it's Skindinavia giving you 15% off, and I'll have all the information below, the code for it below. I will try to put something right here to let you guys know what the code is, but definitely go check it out. I love you guys so much. I thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me. I thank Skindinavia for sponsoring this video and allowing me to bring these products to you, and I hope that you guys try them out and you enjoy them as much as I do, and I love you guys so very much. Bye.